Welcome to the warm-up. We're back after a few weeks off and we're here in our new home, the studio. It's not quite ready yet. We're papering over a few little cracks, but we're setting up camp for the winter. With me, as always, is my best mate, the ambassador, Marcus Gale. How are you doing, mate? You good?
Very well, thank you, mate.
And obviously, we're going to be joined by Carly today. He is a bit poorly, nothing to worry about. Fingers crossed he'll be back with us next week. What have you been up to this week?
Not a lot. It's been a wet week, hasn't it? Weather-wise.
I'm glad you said that. It has been a wet week. But also, I'd like to say, obviously, on Saturday, we went to do our first ever warm-up live, didn't we? Here, we were actually in the studio. We did it with Natalie Sawyer. It was a lot of fun. Unbeknown to us, though, you lot couldn't see it, apart from apparently a fantastic last 3 minutes and goodbyes. We'll be looking to do that, though, from every Saturday home game. So, Borough game on the 7th of November. Make sure you're on the Brentford YouTube channel at 2 p.m. We will obviously be promoting that nearer the time. Today's show is big. Trust me, I know I say that every week, but you really want to stick around for this one, especially you, Lewis Adriano, because we're going to be showing you the first shots of the new third kit for this season. I'm so excited. I got onto Steve, I said, I want to show it. And he said, yes. I was very surprised. So make sure you're looking out for that. Also, it's the return of my favourite, Tariqe Fosu, answering all the big questions. And the B team, they tested out the first ever FIFA, because obviously FIFA 21 came out the other week, so we wanted to show them how we had it when we were kids. Also, I'm pretty sure you were going to do something this week, weren't you?
Who,
a little
me?
forfeit, wasn't it?
Me?
To be fair, you were a man of your word, you've done it. Should have a look.
Let's have a look.
Right, mate, the day's finally here. You lost the retail challenge, which means you've got to do your forfeit, singing Hey Jude here on Brentford High Street. To be fair, you're a man of your word. You're not happy though, are you?
No, not really.
But the deal was, you don't do it like that, you've got to do it in a bumblebee suit. So what's going on?
Unfortunately, I think I've got that covered.
You look better than I thought. Take it away, mate. Love the mic.
Just about fits, mate. Hey Jude, don't make it bad.
Louder!
Take a sad song and make it better. Remember to let her into your heart, and then you can start to make it better, 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 better. Woo! Am I done now?
No! You have not even done the big bit.
That is the big bit.
The whole big Hey Jude bit.
Na 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 na. Hey Jude. I finished.
Do it again.
That's it. I've done it.
Fair play, mate. I'll give you that. You've done it. You were true to your word, but you got away lightly because there was no one in that high street when we did that. You
Not
got
my
away
problem.
with it.
Not
Yeah,
my
to be fair. That was the best performance of the week. It was a week of great performances all round because obviously the women's team, they won. The B team with a great win against Hendon. We'll get onto that later. And the first team, 2 great wins over Coventry and Sheffield Wednesday. Let's start with the Cov game. Job done, and job done comfortably, wasn't it?
Yeah, an accomplished finish. Well, finishes by the big man Ivan Toney.
We'll get onto him in a bit.
I love the clean sheet as well. I think that's important as well, to come back after that international break, set your stall out, keep a clean sheet. Can you win your home game? Yes, we did. So we ticked all the right boxes.
On that clean sheet, going off scripts here, I'm going to throw this one in. We haven't talked about this. But David Raya came back in. Do you think Luke could have felt a bit hard done by with that?
Yeah, possibly. But, you know, David Raya is our number one. He was number one all last season. Yeah, at the start of this one, he wasn't in the side, but we know what a good keeper he is. So it's a tough one for the manager to call and for the player that gets left out.
Well, that was followed up with a 2-1 win against Sheffield Wednesday on Wednesday. We saw both sides of the game there, didn't we? And we really nullified their threat. I don't think they had a shot after the 39th minute.
Yeah, we was very solid to start the match. We score early, which is all important. And then we concede a bit of a sloppy goal. But we'll go on again in that half to really show how strong we are with Ivan Toney's second goal. And I think that was a perfect performance from that team in terms of away and getting those 3 points again.
Let's get on to this, man. What a player we've got, haven't we? I don't want to get too carried away, but 4 for him this week, 2 in each of his last 3 games. I mean, get him that Ballon d'Or now. If he carries on like this, he's going to have 56.3 goals for this season. I don't know where the point three's coming from. Seriously, though, he's on a little run. You've been a striker. When you're in that kind of form, is it just everything you touch feel like it's going to hit the back of the net.
Yeah, you've got that momentum, your confidence is high. He's fitted in really well. You can see over the last few matches, he's come alive.
Yeah.
He's got used to the movements of everybody, and everyone's got used to his strengths as well, because he's got some obvious strengths. He's good at running in behind. He's finding spaces now, and we know he can finish.
Well, we're going to get onto the stuff that he does, but also, what's great about you is you've also got the defensive side of it. You've been a defender.
Yeah.
How do you mark Ivan Toney without giving too much away?
How do you? Oh.
I mean, I don't think many teams are using us as a scout report, but if they are, I mean, you've already got problems. But how do you mark him?
Well, you mark him as a basic striker. You keep him in sight of you all the time, and never let him try and get the wrong side of you. If he can see both you and the ball, you're in trouble as a defender. So I think that's the key to any sort of
Would
good
you like
defender.
to mark him?
Yeah, I would like to mark him.
Would you? Yeah, but you back yourself. You're a player. You went to a World Cup.
Well,
You went to a World Cup.
Not on the FIFA stats.
We'll get onto that. And look, when he signed, he did say he's got a celebration in his locker. We saw the great celebration against Coventry. Some people might not have realised what this came from, and it was from his old teammate Matty Godden, who he was with at Peterborough. Matty Godden has the aeroplane celebration. Ivan then obviously mimicked that to him. And then last night, for the Sheffield Wednesday game, Callum Patterson does what I don't know what it was he'd done, but we saw the other side, Ivan copying him, and love that. Shows his personality. Look, it's hard not to make the comparisons between Neil and Ollie when we've had two fantastic strikers in the last couple of years. And I've seen already, naturally, we're comparing where they were at this stage of the season with their goals. Have we also got to be careful not to continue to do that as the season goes? Because he's going to have dips, he's going to have streaks, isn't he? That's just natural. And can you compare them all through the season?
I think it's just natural. It's human nature to compare strikers. We've had the last 2 seasons strikers that have scored 20 goals. So we're expecting that again, this sort of return from Ivan Toney this season. But he's going to have his little dips at times. He's going to fall off the pace. But it's natural. But I think the way he started, we're on for a really good run with him in terms of the amount of goals he could get. And
I didn't want to be a killjoy there, but you mentioned that earlier, the other stuff he does, and he does do so much, doesn't he? He's not just a finisher, bringing people into the game, and you messaged me about it last night, didn't you?
Yeah, just seeing little things in his game where his hold-up play is allowing other people to make those forward runs. So last night you saw Matthias Jensen breaking from the central midfield because Ivan Toney's he's showing deep for the ball on the halfway line and playing people in. So his all-round game has really improved and it's benefiting the team.
I know it's a cliche, but I'm going to say it. Great feet for a big man.
Most big men have good feet. I don't know if you know that, but he's
Yourself
definitely
included.
If you put me in that esteemed class, then I'll take that. But he's really worked, or you can see the work in training is coming off, where he's coming a lot shorter, he's finding people, not just with his feet, but even with his head, little glancing headers that he's finding the wide people with, and then making that burst of speed to get into the box. So he's not happy just being the set-up man, he's happy also doing that and getting onto the end of chances.
I was going to ask you this, are there any comparisons and what the similarities and differences between him and Ollie and him and Neil? You've kind of just described maybe amalgamation of both of them. Mm-hmm. Doing that stuff where Neil would come very deep a lot of the time, Ollie maybe play a bit more on the shoulder. Is he almost the two of them together?
He's a bit of both. I think what was different with Ollie was comfortable playing in the wide areas. I think Ivan's just a typical number 9 that just wants to stay in the middle, a bit much like Neil a couple of seasons before. But they've all got the ability to set play up and score goals, which is brilliant. And
we also saw a glimpse of Vitaliano against Coventry and obviously started the game yesterday. What did you make of him?
Strong performance again. I love that he's a left footer in there as well. I don't know why I'm biased, but I just love that he's a left footer. He just hits the ball in a different angle compared to a right footer. I'm not taking nothing away from any right footers, but he's got that strength as well. He's got that sort of German steel and that robustness as well, along with the class. So I think he's going to fit in. He's going to be very important over the next few weeks.
How important do you think he'll be away from home in particular?
Yeah, we're going to need that. Just as I just said, all those sort of attributes that he has, he's solid. He's comfortable on the ball as you have to be in this Brentford team, because we're going to have a lot of possession, and I think he ticks all those right boxes for us, and he gives us something different in that area.
His passing technique is like, you know, when they just zip it. Yeah. He's just got this lovely left foot about, like you said. There's something about left foot, isn't there? When we've gone to film this, obviously we don't know the severity of a couple of the injuries from the Sheffield Wednesday game, Pontus and Matthias. When you were looking at them, for me, Pontus in particular didn't look great, did it?
Yeah, it looks like it could be a hamstring, and you can just never tell unless once you get the scans, you won't really know. But they could be from 2 weeks to 3 weeks, maybe less, depending. It might be just a twinge, but as we say, we're just speculating at the moment. But hopefully it's not too bad.
Been a little bit unlucky with injuries, but we've got great squad depth and people like Mads who came on and did a great job. The B team as well, as we said earlier, they had a great result on Tuesday against Hendon, avenging that defeat in the Cup last year. They won 6-2. Here are the goals. I mean, that's Joe Adams. What a finish that is. So good. We need to see every angle of that. Looks like this game was maybe lit with a couple of torches or maybe some cars from the car park. Valgeirson getting on the score sheet as well. What a name. That's got to be the best named player we've ever had.
It's one of those names you'll never forget.
No, and we know why he's called Valgeirson, didn't we? A little bit of Icelandic knowledge. Obviously that means his dad was called Valgeir. Yep. But yeah, another big win for them. I mean, that's got to be the perfect tonic after losing that cup final, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be. You know, players just want to play matches and get back to winning ways, get back to good habits, because to lose matches, it takes things not to go quite your way. And they would have identified that. They know if they've let themselves down. But the game the other night, I think they've crossed everything they needed to cross and come out triumphant. And
for them, it is all about development, isn't it, at this stage? We need to remember that they're young players still. Yeah. So you've seen there firsthand, have you not, that they've reacted to a defeat, and you've seen their development instantly in the return from this game? Yeah. I mean, I can't believe the goals are still going in.
It's not all about the results. The results do help. Yeah. As we said, it's about what are they developing on? Are they improving from the previous moments in matches that have just gone? And I think that's most important. Just they learn every day.
Yeah, that's right. And look, a couple of weeks ago, we got caught up with a couple of the lads because it was, of course, the FIFA 21 launch. Everyone loves FIFA. What a weekend that is when FIFA comes out. You get all your snacks, you get some refreshments, you chill out, turn your phone off. No one's getting involved. I don't know what I'm saying. So I ain't even got a PlayStation. But we decided to give the B team the first ever FIFA with a Sega Megadrive so they could see what we had to go through when we were kids. So let's see how they got on.
What we got you?
Do you even know players from that year?
Nah.
What, do we have to turn it on ourselves?
Yeah.
Alright, that's pretty simple.
Man, this is wicked.
What is that?
Man, it goes in there.
What, like?
Surely not.
Well, it's not HDMI, is it?
These are on then, aren't they? Start. It's like Jumanji, isn't it?
Is it on?
Yeah, the power's on there, isn't it? Does this even work?
Don't you have to blow in the thing?
Complete pause control.
I've got it.
It's working.
What is this?
Yes. Play mode.
Yeah. How do you press A?
A.
And then press A.
Yeah. Oh, I'm France.
Oh, United States. Wales. Oh, this is beautiful. What a game.
Alright, let's do it.
Hey.
Start. Alright, we're on.
Oh, this is wicked.
How do you do this?
I'm Sweden. But how do you play?
Which one shoot? It says all of them. Imagine having one of these. I would be upset.
Wait, I'm Wales.
No, you're not. Are you? Oh, you are? No.
You're not actually playing. You've got to press start. You press start.
Wow! What is this?
How do you change it?
Shoot them!
Save. What a save. Ah, this is
I can
so
say that FIFA
hard.
changed a bit.
Yeah.
C shoot! Oh, you're telling me this now? I'm pressing A the whole time.
What's the shoot button? I'm not telling you. I heard that. See the shoot.
Shoot!
Yes.
Oh, what a save.
Herregud! Oh, finish! Oh.
What is happening? How was that not got in?
Oh, come on.
I don't know what to do.
What are you doing?
Oh, what a save! Ravelli.
Did you actually enjoy this back in the day?
Who did?
Oh! It's not a pen.
Vad händer?
What a save. Oh my
You actually can't score. That's the funny part about it.
Shoot, man. Whip it in. Oh, go on.
Keeps.
Go on. Yes, come on. Come on, son. Oh, Brian.
Brian Bingham.
He's a player. Right?
Yeah, he's quality, isn't he?
He's a player. Absolute gentleman as well.
What button is pressed now? Yes. Oh my god.
There we go.
That's awful. I can't believe he's just scored from that.
We've been robbed. He must have had about 2 shots and he wouldn't even tell me how to shoot.
Wait. You can't see actually.
This much instructions, but no button was working.
You'll take. Come on.
Not happy.
The dragon. Wales win. Look at the boys. They're loving it.
They're happy. They know they won.
Not having it. Play me the real FIFA.
I should have beat you like 10-0.
Alright, you can stop celebrating that.
That's undeserved, isn't it?
Nah.
Pushing my.
Seriously, look here.
Look, the
I'm slide tackling without touching the buttons.
He's just pushing.
I'm playing the best I ever
The
played.
Germans are so angry at the moment.
So I have stats on it.
You think this has stats?
Maybe you need to upgrade to
I'm leaving rage quit. 70 minutes of play, I haven't scored.
You might need to upgrade the console to next time we play, because this is not the best.
Which one was you?
See.
No, that was a waste of time. That was
actually a waste of
70 minutes of nothing.
That was probably pretty good graphics for you, wasn't it?
That was extremely good graphics for me. I didn't even have that when I was a kid.
What was you?
I think we had a Atari.
Oh yeah,
If
with
you
that
can go back that
joystick.
far. Yeah, everything was square. Brackets were square, the footballs were square, everything was square.
Bit of a stitch as well, to be fair, because one of those controllers that didn't work, we didn't tell the boys. The C button was dodgy. You had to flick up the auto thing. But hey, that's what comes when it's about 24 years old or whatever. And also, there was they didn't do penalty shootouts. So the boys are sitting there playing it, and it goes to extra time, and then it goes to sudden death. And it just plays eternally. So they were just sat there. It was never ending, which is why Freddie and Simon obviously in the end rage quit. FIFA's massive with players now. Was that the case when you were playing? Oh, not when you were growing up, obviously, with your square balls.
Maybe towards the end of my career, it was creeping in. A few gamers were, mainly the younger players.
Right.
Me coming towards the end of my career was never into that sort of stuff.
It's taken over massively. Look, the boys didn't win any prizes, but you guys can win some prizes, and we've got a special edition of FIFA 21 for one of you guys to win. Last time we were here, we asked you who Shandon Baptiste thought loved the camera the most. Here's what he said.
The person who loves camera the most, Dom Thompson. If you have him on any social media apps, you will know this guy is always on his phone, taking snaps, taking videos of himself. He does TikTok, so Dom, I'll say Dom.
The TikTok prince, Dom Thompson, our mate. He loves the camera so much, he even begged us to get in the retail shoot in his dressing gown, didn't he? Thanks again, everyone who entered. We really do appreciate it. Marcus,
Yeah.
As always, get your hand in your bowl and pick out a winner for us.
Here we go. Let's have a little look.
Who's it going to be? Obviously, remember, you're getting this copy of FIFA 21 Brentford Personal Limited Edition one.
This goes out to Will Taylor.
Will Taylor, well done, mate. You've got this copy of FIFA 21. We'll get in touch with you and we'll send it. I hope you've got a PlayStation, mate. If not, give it to a friend, do something nice. It's a lovely thing to do. Anyway, we've also got another competition this week. And we asked Marcus Force, with it being Strictly Weekend, who out of the first team would do best on the show? Here's what he said.
I think there's only one answer. It's going to be...
So who do you think Marcus said would be the Strictly King? Get your answers in and you could win this copy of FIFA 21. Well, not this copy because that's Will's. But let us know on all the usual channels and we'll also put it out on social media in the week. Coming up, we've got the first glimpse of the third kit. But first, my favourite's back. Marcus, what's your favourite crisps?
Oh, you put me on the spot. Anything with salt and pepper on it.
Put you on the spot, I told you before we're doing this. What about a crisp sandwich?
Cheese with crisp.
Ooh, what crisps?
Cheese.
Cheese, double cheese. These are all the big questions I asked Tariqe. I bet you can't wait for it now. Let's see what he said.
Arsenal.
Oh, really?
Arsenal Football Club, yeah.
How comes?
We had like Thierry Henry, and he was like my favourite player as a kid, you know. So yeah, I just loved the club, you know, loved Arsenal. I have one of the last goals of my hat trick, so against Lincoln. That one's probably my favourite goal, from like 25 yards out. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I was going to say, you didn't say the Ghana one because that didn't go in, did it? Did you worry though when that happened?
Yeah, I was a bit nervous. I wasn't sure if the ref had seen it, had gone in. Obviously, I knew it had gone in, but I was wondering how the ball was out the net. So.
Did any of their lads try and say no, it hadn't gone in?
No, to be fair, they didn't really appeal or anything like that. So. Probably Oasis Wonderwall.
Yeah.
Baby. Yeah, that one's a big one.
Yeah. So did you do that as your initiation?
No, I done loop. That one was a bit difficult. So next time. But I did loop for Yasko. Yeah. You know. Probably maths, but I wasn't that good at it, to be fair.
Was it because football was the only thing you cared about?
Yeah, when I was younger, I was just football mad, to be fair. But I mean, if I could go back in time, I'll take it more seriously. To be, yeah.
Were you naughty at school?
Nah.
No,
I'm joking.
A
little bit. I mean, I was just more focused on football, to be fair. But
that means you were naughty because the kids that were into football were always the naughty ones.
Yeah. Could have been better. Probably better, to be fair. Probably my Ghana one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you kept hold of it, or did you have to swap?
No, I kept hold of it. I've given one to my mum.
Oh, nice.
My mum and nan. So they're very proud.
Are you going to get it framed? Stuck up on the wall?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, nice.
Probably Carl Robinson.
Oxford?
Yeah, Oxford.
What was he so good with you?
He allowed me to express myself and be creative, you know, so really good.
I mean,
I had him at Charlton as well, so
right.
Yeah, to be fair, he helped me a lot in terms of my career. I went from Reading to Charlton and I was playing week in, week out, and I did really well that season, scored goals and created a few assists and stuff like that. So.
And when you have a manager like that, then obviously you have to leave him to come here. Is it tough because obviously you do have that bond? And what did he say to you when you did move on?
He was happy for me, to be fair. You know, he's always supported me and wanted me to go in the right direction. So he was happy. He was happy for me. But as well as that, obviously it's a bit sad as well leaving and stuff. But it's a part of the game, and sometimes you have to take the next step up and try to challenge yourself, you know.
Did you see him at the end of the game in pre-season?
Yeah.
What did he say to you?
Just said I looked good, to keep on working hard and show everyone what I can do. Probably butter jam. Yeah.
What? Butter and jam?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's sweet tooth, so.
Yeah, but you can't have butter on jam.
Do you know? I don't know. It's just a thing from when I was young. I just used to love butter and jam.
No, right. I want to know if you lot do that because butter and jam. I'm jam on its own.
Yeah.
That's extra.
On its own, jam.
Yeah, just jam and the bread. Brown or white bread?
Well, to be fair, sometimes brown, sometimes.
Mix it up.
Yeah.
Depends how you feel.
Yeah. Quavers?
Yeah?
Yeah, quavers.
You're allowed to eat them though?
No, I don't really eat much. Don't tell the gaffer.
Have you ever tried a crisp sandwich?
No, I haven't, you know.
No? That's the next one. Just don't put butter in it. Just the bread and the crisp. I reckon a Craver sandwich would be banging actually.
Yeah. Shandon Baptiste.
Oxford friends.
Yeah.
Does that make it easier though, coming from Oxford together?
Definitely, obviously having a buddy there with you, coming to a new club's like first day at school or something like that, so it was a bit nerve-wracking, but it was good that he was there with me, and obviously player-wise, top player as well.
Because we maybe haven't seen loads of him, unfortunately, because of injuries and stuff. Like, you've seen him obviously at Oxford week in, week out.
Yeah, I think obviously when he gets going and stuff like that, I think he's going to be a top player. Yes. I've seen him do unreal things, you know, even in training sometimes, so just hopefully with time, settle in. Probably to keep working hard, especially when there's tough periods and stuff like that. Football is always going to be ups and downs, so keep working hard even through the downtime. And
you say about that, so did you find it hard when you were at Reading and you weren't getting maybe the chances you'd hoped for? Did you find it hard leaving there, dropping down a level before coming back up?
I would say I found it hard because I was there for maybe nine years or something like that, 10 years. So I found it hard leaving there, but at the same time I knew I needed to get some games, and obviously I would come back to the level, you know, so that was the most important thing for me, playing games.
Is it just about backing your ability there? Just going, I know if I'm going to drop down, I will get back up there.
Yeah, for sure. I thought I'd been on loan a few times and stuff like that, but I just needed to get back-to-back, consistency and back-to-back games and prove myself.
Marcus, help me out here. Am I wrong? Because I keep thinking it's weird to have butter with jam, but everyone's saying that I'm the one that's in the wrong, and Tariqe actually has got it right there.
I would just have the jam.
You'd just go jam?
I would just have jam, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'd say.
I wouldn't want to really mix the two.
No, not butter and jam. I mean, these are all... This is what you've tuned in for, isn't it? Butter and jam chat. Seriously, though, let's get to the football again. Tariqe mentioned Shandon Baptiste in that. He's been really unlucky with injuries since arriving. With the absence of Christian Norgard, how big is it going to be to get him fit again?
We're going to need everybody. This is going to be another enormous season. Not a lot of pressure, but healthy pressure and expectation on the squad of players, because we just failed last season. So we need to go one better, and we're going to need everybody ready to step in.
And like you said, we do need everyone because it's thick and fast. The games, another two this week, Norwich and Stoke. Two sides with similar starts to us, but very contrasting styles of play, the two of them.
Yeah,
on paper anyway.
You can see with Stoke, they're a bit more robust in their approach at times. Always a tough place to go any time of the year. But you know, we've got our hands full to go up there anyway. But we're going in good form. I think the team is settled. It's just the injury to Pontus at the back, that's the main concern at the moment. But you know, Mads Bech Sorensen can slip in there if he's selected and do a more than able job in there. So I'm expecting us to get some points out of that game.
Does either suit us better with the styles? We talked about it a few times.
Styles, I think they become irrelevant because of how we play. I don't think we take on board as much the opponents that we're playing. We respect them, but they're not really the main thought of how we approach the game. I think it's 100% what we do, and try and install our system onto them and impose them as quick as possible.
And look, we've made a point that we're always looking forward, but we do have to kind of mention the Stoke game last year. It was a big game in our season. As a player, would you be looking to exercise any demons in this fixture, especially with it being quite relatively recent?
Yeah, you kind of have the previous game in the back of your mind, the little things that didn't go well for you, and you want to try and correct them in this next match going up there. But again, you don't put too much emphasis on that. You're going into it, brand new season, new squad of players in certain areas. As I said, we're on good form, so we've got to go there with all the positive mindsets and come away with points. And
Norwich midweek, they're a team kind of run in a similar way to us. They're very good at finding talent, buying them relatively cheap, and then kind of moving them on for big sums of money. We've seen it with Ben Godfrey this summer, Jamal Lewis. Were you surprised that they did keep so many of the other players, your Cantwells and your Buendias maybe? Yeah, especially with Cantwell. I thought there'd be a few more clubs in the Premier League trying to keep him in that level, but he's a talent that we're going to be facing, and hopefully we can nullify his sort of talent as well, and by being so good in our areas. Don't forget we've got Josh Da Silva in that area of the field, and he's like our main man in terms of how we play, that driving force that we want in the midfield, and he's getting goals as well. And with them coming down, people say sometimes it's the best time to play them relatively early because they've just come down. Do you find that is the case with recently relegated sides, that they do find it a bit more of a struggle early on? At times they can be like that. I think with Norwich, don't want to disrespect them, but they didn't have the greatest of seasons last year, so they probably got that still on their back. In terms of momentum, and it's hard to try and break that momentum, especially in the Championship, because it's very competitive. They're coming to us at Brentford here, knowing that we're a good team on form, and we move the ball so well. So it's going to be an interesting game in terms of who's going to win the sort of early battles, the early exchanges of that match. It's going to be an exciting week. Right, I think I've kept you lot waiting long enough. It's that time to see the first glimpses of the third kit. Get ready to be pausing this and going frame by frame to get every little glimpse you can. You haven't seen this yet, have you, mate? Nope. Let's do it. What do you think, mate? I mean, we didn't give much away there, did we, to be fair? Not really anything at all. Sorry, mate. Well, look, the shirt is a nod to our history and the club's beginnings back in 1889. As many of you will know, back in October of that year, Archer Green of the Brentford Rowing Club, he called a meeting to see which winter sport they would play. Football beat rugby 8-5, go on the boys, and thus Brentford Football Club was formed. The salmon, claret and blue that you might have seen there, they're the same colours that the rowing club had, and of course we then adopted them in our first few years. Get me a PGCE and call me a teacher, because that's a history lesson, and we can see the full thing next week. Exciting stuff. That's almost it for this week's show. Remember, you can watch us at Stoke tomorrow on iFollow. £10 for your match pass at brentfordfc.com/iFollow to get your code. Tomorrow is also the first screening at the stadium down at the Legends Lounge. Marcus, me and you are going to be there. It's going to be a good day, isn't it? We're going to be there, mate. I mean, it's live. What could possibly go wrong? Nothing. I mean, we've only been in here since 7 a.m. this morning. It's nearly 9 o'clock in the evening. We'll have a bit of fun, though, won't we? Of course we're going to have fun. Yeah, we always have fun. It's a match day. Exactly, that's it. Before we go, many of you may have seen or read about Jamie Powell's journey. Jamie is a lifelong Brentford fan who rarely misses a match. In June of this year, Jamie was delivered the devastating news that he'd been diagnosed with a rare and aggressive bone cancer of the skull called osteosarcoma. He's currently undergoing chemotherapy and then will be given rapid arc photon therapy. But although these procedures will hopefully slow the cancer down, ultimately they won't cure it. There is hope, though, in the form of proton beam therapy. Unfortunately, there's only one machine available for this treatment in the UK, which has a long waiting list. Boston, Massachusetts General Hospital, however, is a specialist hospital for this treatment, and they've given Jamie a chance which could ultimately cure him of the cancer. Obviously, this isn't just straightforward and doesn't come cheap. Through the family's Just Giving page that many of you will have already seen, any donations, however big or small, will make a huge difference as they look to raise £350,000. You might also have seen some fantastic gestures from players, people like Ivan Toney and Ollie Watkins. Also, many of you have made some incredible donations, and it was pretty emotional seeing the wider football family coming together as well. We've put a link to Jamie's Just Giving page below, so if any of you do want to make any donations, of course, they do go a long way. Jamie, just want to say on behalf of everyone in the club, we're with you on this, and as you've probably seen from social media, so are all the Brentford family. Together, we're stronger. That is it for this week's show. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Hopefully we're sitting here next week with another 6 points. Have a good one. You Reds!